Hi guys, the date is Tuesday, the 20th of August 2024, and this is poem number 78, and this poem is called My Instinct Feeling. So let's talk about it. Have you ever been in a situation where something doesn't feel right, or it doesn't sit well with your conscience, and it goes against all your beliefs? Let me give you an example. I was working at this company and I saw things which were not ethical, were not right, and I had a choice. And this choice was to say nothing and go along or speak out. And I chose to not speak out. And thinking about it, was it the right decision? What happened was something 20 years ago. I saw things being done in the wrong way, and certain people were doing things wrongly on purpose, and I could have spoken up and says that this person or that person is doing the wrong thing, but I went along. I was a much younger person than I am now. Maybe I wasn't as confident. What was it? It was making up a job where you had to add something to the job, and you had to do a certain test of that job, and the final test wasn't being done. The product was not being checked properly, and it was just being signed off. And what it wasn't important as in making the item work. It was more a technical thing where the job had to be signed off to say that all the checks had been carried out, and not all the checks had been carried out, and they just signed them off saying that the checks were carried out. But as I say, I was young. It was my second or third job, and I wanted to try and fit in. And when you start work at a new place, the one thing that you want to do is fit in. You want to be accepted. And most people who start a new job obviously want to be accepted so that their job will be safe, and their career prospects going forward will also be safe. So there are times when you have to go along and keep quiet, and there are other times where you have to speak out. So I think it's a question of how it sits with a person's conscience. There are certain things that I would not allow. If it was hurting a person or a people, then I don't think I could allow it. I'd have to speak out. But that episode 20 years ago, it wasn't hurting a person or people, so I let it go along. Plus as well, I was young and I never had the confidence to speak out against the managers or bosses, so I went along. So anyway, this poem is called My Instinct Feeling, and it goes something like this. You can't tell because you don't know. Having a hunch won't do even though. Get some proof, then we'll see. I can't promise, there's no guarantee. So there are times where just your say-so is not enough. Sometimes you need physical proof, and there are other times where physical proof is not enough. You need somebody to speak out and back you up. And if I'm being honest, there's not many people who are going to speak out and raise their head above the parapet, yeah, and back you in case it backfires. Because when you go against a company, it's going against your friends that you work with. It's going against the organization. It's you against them. And it's very hard to stand up and be counted by yourself. It's very hard unless you get people willing to back you up and say, yes, I saw it, and that person is wrong, or a group of people is wrong. It's very hard. That's why a person's human nature is to go along and just settle for an easy life. So guys, that poem was called My Instinct Feeling. And if ever you come to a situation, and it's a question of you against a group of people or a company or an organization, nobody is going to say you're wrong for going along, because it's very hard. It's very hard to, point the finger at people that you work with. It's very hard and to actually speak out. So guys, whatever you decide, I wish you all the best. Stay safe and God bless.